How's it going, YouTube? I trust you're all well. Tony Brown again with another MPC video. And in this video, I want to share with you a system you can use to help manage your files in your music production process. So let's get straight into it. If you're an MPC user, which you probably are because you're watching this video, you will know the pain of this folder right here. It's a pain. There's files everywhere, folders all over the place, sounds, programs. And I've got a little folder system which I use to help manage my process, but it's still something I'm working on and developing on. And what I've come up with is another system which I found really useful, and that is Trello. So for those of you who haven't seen Trello before, it's a simple project management system which is available online for free. You can grab a link in the description and access Trello. And basically it's made up of boards, lists and cards. And I've been using Trello for a long time for many different things. I do business systemization and I help people to set up their systems in their businesses. And Trello is a go-to tool. And I've just started using it for my music production process. So the way it works is I've got a board here, which is called music production. And on that board, I've got a series of lists which represent different stages in the music production process. So it starts here with samples and ideas. I've then got a backlog list, tracks in progress, right the way through audio tracking, vocaling, final arrangement, post-production, mix, ready for mastering, right the way through to even for sale, under offer and sold. So I've got a few cards here, and these cards represent samples that I've found or tracks that I'm working on. So let's say, for example, you find a sample and you think to yourself, I'm going to work on that sample, or I'm going to use that sample for a track. You can create a card that represents that sample. There is a way you can automate it. I'm not going to go through it in this video. I'll create another video where I'll talk you through that. But you can actually automate it where when you save a sample in a folder, whether it be Dropbox or Google Drive, it will automatically create that card for you. But in this example, I'm going to create the card manually. So let's just go through it. So this will be beat 99. So I found a sample and I'm working on a beat. It's number 99. When I create that, it creates a card in this list. In these other examples, you can see I've actually got a link to the sample. So if I click on this card and click this link, it will open it in Dropbox. So you'll see it takes me to, it actually takes me to the sample, which is great because I can quickly listen to and find and hear what it is I'm working on. You'll also see on the card that I've got a checklist. Now I've just put this down by way of example, but basically the checklist will represent different stages in the process. So for example, in this case, there's a sample, and let's say I've put a beat together and I've done the first arrangement. I will just check that off and then I'll just work through the process. Pre-production mix, I've exported it to an MP3 and I've sent it to an artist. So at any given time, I can jump in and see where we are with that track. And that's just on that card. Rather than in the MPC, I don't know where I am with these. I can just scroll through here and I've got to remember mentally where I am with each one of these beats, where in this situation, it's much more visual. So that's how we would use the cards. In terms of the lists, what I would do is move each card that represents a track down the list to represent where it is in the production process. So again, you've not only got the checklists on here that you can check off. And again, your checklist can have different points and different items on there. It's totally up to you, whatever your process is. I'm just showing you an example of how it can be used. So you can not only use a checklist, but you can also use these lists to move them down. So let's say, for example, I found a sample and it's just here in sample ideas. I then start working on that sample. I start to create a beat out of that sample. I'm going to put it here in backlog. I've started working on it. It's gone from just being a sample to now becoming a basic skeleton track. I then feel like I'm going to move forward with that track. You know, I'm going to begin to work on it seriously. It sounds like it's got some legs. It sounds like, you know, it can go somewhere. I'm going to move that to tracks in progress. That is now a song I'm working on. And again, with that, we can add the checklist in there. So if I drop down my checklist and add that, there's that checklist come back again. So I've started working on this track. I'll probably change the name of the card to the name of the track. So this might be called name of the track. That now becomes the name of the card. Another great feature on the cards is the ability to add comments. So you can just add comments on here and just save those. So you can keep a log of everything related to the track. You can also add due dates. So let's say you've sent it to an artist and it's due back for return by a specific date. You can just choose a date, you can save that date, and it adds the due date to the card as well. You can also attach other files. So let's say you've got files on your computer, you can attach those files. So I could actually go in here and locate a file on my hard drive. So here's all my files from the MPC. I can literally find the program related to this track. So let's just grab this one, for example. I can attach that file to the card, and there it is. So that's the MPC program attached to the card. I mean, if I wanted to, I could actually compress and zip the entire track and attach that as a compressed file to this card. So everything's in one place. I could also add other members to the card. So if I have, let's say I've got a production team and I've got 2 or 3 other people who are working on the process, I can add them to my team in Trello and add them as members to this card, and they can access the files on here. They can add their comments and we can communicate about the production process on the card. So it's all in one place. So I'm just giving an example of how you can use Trello. It's really useful, it's free, it's visual, it's flexible, it's adaptable. You can basically set this up to work for you. So that's just a way you can better manage your music production process using Trello. I hope you found that useful. If you have, then give me a thumbs up and I will see you again in another video. All the best, God bless, and take care.